My name is Sean Cleary. I'm the CEO of Strategic Resources. We're a public company listed on the Toronto Venture Exchange, and we are developing the BlackRock Project in Quebec, which is for the green steel revolution, change, and all of the products and inputs for green steel. The BlackRock Project in Quebec is a permitted mine, concentrator, and metallurgical complex at Port Saguenay, which is a deep sea port with access to the St. Lawrence and the Atlantic market. We are developing as phase one of the project a 4 million ton a year iron ore pellet plant at Port Saguenay in collaboration with, it's a federal port, in collaboration with the federal Port Saguenay and the provincial government. And we will produce high purity iron ore pellets for green steel production. So we have cooperation agreements with all of the communities that we're involved with, as well as we have a full impact benefit agreement with the Cree Nation government, and we have three different development agreements in place with the Innu Nations. And we regularly meet both with governmental representatives at all areas of government, federal, provincial, local, municipality, as well as Indigenous. We interact as well with our shareholder groups, that many of which are local. So I would say that the number one challenge is to take this company from a development stage company with its permits, which are in place, now to a production company. So we're moving through the final phases of engineering, so as well as some metallurgical testing for the 4 million ton a year pellet plant at Port Saguenay. In doing that, we upscaled our original environmental certificate of authorization. So we're going through some process with the Ministry of the Environment to finalize that. That will take another 6 to 9 months. And on top of that, as I mentioned, we're completing the engineering studies, and then we have to complete our project financing. So for project financing requires our final investment decision sometime early next year. We've already hired Société Générale to raise $300 million of debt for phase one of the project. This work is ongoing and seems to be going well. We are talking to our existing shareholder groups, which is, we have a major investment from the Quebec Government, which owns 40% of our company, Orion Mine Finance, which is a major New York private equity firm, as well as Ross Beaty's Lumina Group in Vancouver, which is a development firm. So we're in discussions with those groups, as well as a number of other significant pools of capital to round out the total project financing of $500 million. So we expect that sort of middle of next year. So I've told you about phase one of our project, but we also have a phase two. So in phase two of our project, we are permitted already to install a direct reduction furnace at Port Saguenay to produce about 750,000 tons of DRI or HBI. These are virgin iron units that are required for electric steel making. So that's really the next forward integrated part of the project. The capital that will be required for phase two will be an additional $500 million of CapEx, some of it which can come from the internal cash flow of phase one, but the balance of which will come from debt and equity to be raised in the future. On top of that, we have a permitted mine and concentrator at Chibougamau in Quebec. So phase three of the BlackRock project is to put the mine and concentrator into production and install some additional furnace capacity at Port Saguenay, and we will produce 5 products by the end of this process. Phase three is also expected to cost, in terms of today's CapEx, about $500 million. So we have this 3-phase, very significant project within Quebec, which will eventually produce 5 different products: high purity iron ore pellets for green steel, DRI and HBI for green steel, high purity pig iron for green steel, and ferrovanadium and titanium, which are ferroalloys. That we're great value in the marketplace today. You know, juniors have been oversold in the market outside of the gold sector. There's great opportunity as we go through a transformation, a revolution in steelmaking that is currently going on, and I don't think that there's a better way to play that than by the shares of Strategic Resources.